Tell me, how were you raised? Did you grow up and have a happy childhood, or was it not so happy? Do you think that right now, today, it still affects you as an adult? Does it affect you in the workplace? Do you believe that the way that you were raised and the way that you are is built into your DNA? It is so entrenched intrinsically into who you are that it affects your everyday life. Hmm. Well, come on then, and let's pause.
In a world fraught with confusion, one man will break his silence. There was only one man for the job.
Welcome back once again to the funkiest show this side of the Pecos. I am your host and tour guide, Terry Patrick, coming at you with word to the wise with the exclamation point. We do this just like this on every single Wednesday. And you know I do this here. Oh yeah, this is for Pops and Fat Mama. Give it up to the people who raised me. Who raised you? Does your upbringing has something to do with who you are? I believe it falls into three very, very simple buckets. Number one is your environment, your place that you grew up in. I mean, does being rich and famous make you a good person? Being in impoverished and underprivileged and underserved area makes you bad automatically, because I know some rich people who are spoiled brats. And I know some people who came from certain environments where it was a constant struggle and they rose above. They came out stronger on the other end. So, is it your environment that has something to do with who you are? Next one. What about your upbringing? Did you grow up in a single parent household? Did you have both parents? Or maybe you had a weekend dad, or maybe you had a mom that you never really knew. Were you raised by your grandparents? Do you think these things have anything to do with who you are as an adult? Because some people say, it would be so much better if you just had both parents in the house. Same scenario that I just gave. I have three daughters. Yes, been in their lives every day of their lives. Yes, and I will also say that they had the same upbringing, the exact same rules, the exact same everything, and they couldn't be more different. Same with me and my older brother, younger sister. Same household. Now, I did have another brother who passed away some 40 years ago, and we were all raised in the same house, same mom, same dad, same parents. Yes, nobody was from another relationship, same mom and dad, same rules inside the house. That was our upbringing. And I'm going to tell you, we couldn't be more different than each other. So, way you raise your kids and the way that you raise yourself has something to do with who you are. And also, it has something to do with who you are not. There are certain things that you just won't do because of your upbringing. Yes. What about hereditary? This is a deep one here. You ready for this one, cousins? Man, I might just blow your mind and spin your wig. I'm going to tell you, listen, I worked at California Department of Corrections, and I talked to so many young men So many of them that were in there locked up before they even got to 21. I'm talking about 18, 19, 20-year-olds who told me the story of their lives. And also keep in mind, I'm judging what they say to me versus what's written down in the file. Sometimes the file does not tell you the whole story, and sometimes the person will not tell you the whole story either. They omit certain details, both of them, so I compare the two. And I listen earnestly, and I ask them very, very simple questions. Where's your mom and dad? And they would tell me, now my mom is doing well. My dad, yeah, he passed away. My dad is doing great. My mom, she's no longer with us. Or, sometimes they say, you know what? They always told me, stop saying that. Stop acting like that. You acting just like your father. And be like, but I never met my dad. Never met him. Wouldn't know him if he was standing right next to me at the grocery store. I said, well, where is your father? Oh, he's locked up in prison. He's doing time. I'm like, you're in prison. You're in prison. You're doing the same thing that your father did, even though you didn't know him. Is your heritage? Is it soaked inside your DNA? Is there certain things, certain characteristics, certain behaviors that you may have that you don't really have any control over? Put all three of these together, if you will, and let's have a quick case study. Because what I want to do is really show someone that your leadership skills, they are embedded inside of you. Many of you are leaders right now without a title. Yeah, you don't need a title to be a leader. The great Napoleon Bonaparte once said, the little general, and I recommend you watch that movie, man, with Joaquin Phoenix. Great movie. But the little general, Napoleon once said, when the people who report to you no longer bring you their grievances, two things have happened. Number one, they don't think you can do anything about it, and you don't care. But number two is they're following someone else. It's just not you. Two things have happened when people stop bringing you their complaints. So if you are a leader and you do have that title and people are bringing you their problems, good. Yes, that's awesome. That's exactly what you want. Because when they stop, it is a sign, it is a signal that they have moved on because they don't think you can do anything about it. Or they feel like you don't care. But you don't need a title to be a leader because they may be following someone else. And that person may be someone who is just upstanding with morals and principles and just carry themselves as a leader. How were they raised? Yes, did they have a strong upbringing, a strong family construct? Or was it something that they just rose above? Yeah, there are people who are put up for adoption and never really knew their parents, never really knew their birth parents. They have new parents, they have good parents, but somehow they have behaviors that are not indicative to their upbringing. And the environment does play a big part because you grow up a certain kind of way. If you grew up with a silver spoon in your mouth, where you are just privileged, you walk through life that way. You believe that the world always owes you something because you are of privilege enough of wealth. But is that true? Will that get you in trouble later down the line, especially if you're a business owner or if you inherit a corporation? You will treat it like a play toy sometimes. Because, this may come and go, but let you have an entrepreneurial spirit. And you had to come from the bottom, scraping, scrapping, open up your business. Yes, start it up, loyal to your customers. And you build it from the ground up. You have a different kind of respect because your environment that you came from, never forget where you came from. But also you have to have a short memory. If you come from a place that you don't want to go back to, then keep moving forward. And don't look behind you, keep looking forward. But don't forget to help somebody else coming along the same path that you took. They may reach out to you, be like, my environment, man, it's just not conducive to me being successful. I want to change who I am. I've always said this and I will say it again. If you want different, do different. If you want things better in life, then be better. Because if you always do what you've always done, you will always get what you've always gotten. So change your circle. And if you are a person of influence and someone comes to you and says, I want to know what you know, I want to be more like you, then yes, you should recognize where you come from and say, you know what? I can show you the way. But the old saying goes, I can lead you, horse. I can lead you to water, but I cannot make you drink. All you got to do is just give them a quick little test. Meet me at this Starbucks at 5 a.m. on a Wednesday morning, and I will break it down to you. See if they show up. Oh man, I don't have a car, or I would have to take a bus, and the buses don't run that early, or you know what? If you want it bad enough, yes, you will be there. E.T. Eric Thomas once said, you got to want success as badly that you want air. Because if you are a drowning man, nothing matters more. No, not titles, not leadership, not corporations, not bank accounts, not even a spouse or a loved one or your family. I just want a breath of air. That's what it means. You just got to know your value and know your worth. By your environment, can you overcome that? Drop your comment out there inside the comment section. And while you're doing it, please subscribe to this podcast. We'll be bringing you these kind of messages every single Wednesday. I would like to see you subscribe to this and tell a friend, because word of mouth is still the strongest form of advertisement. But I'm not trying to get clicks and likes. All I want to do, Lord God, is just touch one person. And I believe after all of my years in leadership development, I trained over 7,000 people over the course of 2 years. And in those 7,000, I'm pretty sure I touched one. I know for a fact that I have because of their testimony. And Father God, if I have touched one, then just give me one more. That's all I want. Just give me one more subscription. All right. So when you are looking at your environment, know your worth, know your value, know that you are valuable, and your worth may be by your environment that you're in. You may have to change your environment, and change is uncomfortable. Here's a scenario. Take something as simple as a bottle of water. Now, you go to a grocery store, you go to one of those big box stores, you can buy a case of water, right? And if you were to divide the price by the count of bottles that you have inside a pack of water, then each bottle comes up to about 75, 77 cents. That's it. And you add that up and you buy a case. 77 cents. How much you think a bottle of water would cost you out of a vending machine? $1? $1.50. What about that same bottle of water, same maker, same content, same fluid ounces? You take it from that Costco pack, put it in that vending machine, the price goes up. What if it's at an airport? The price of water at an airport is about $2.50. Yes, $2.50. What if it was at a ballpark, a big arena, football, basketball, baseball, where they have the concession stands? One bottle of water, $3. What changed? It's still water. And it is still the same fluid ounces. It's the same bottle. You're the same person, but put you in a different environment and your value go up. Know your worth, whether you're in a Costco 12 pack or 24 pack, or you're sitting out there at Dodger Stadium. Know who you are. And don't let the environment tell you what you're not, because here is the caveat. You take that same bottle and you hold it in your hand, and there is a man or a woman coming out of a desert, the Sahara, dying of dehydration. Man, they're about to perish, and the only thing on their mind is water. Water, please. And you have a bottle. How much is that bottle worth to them? Come on, cousins. Help me out, somebody. How much is that bottle of water worth to that person dying of thirst? They would give everything. You can have whatever you want. Give me this water. Give me this water. Yes, so the environment does have a big input on who you are as a person, but it should never dictate your ending. Now, we all say, man, you've got to put away childish things once you become an adult. That is true. But sometimes the childish ways follow you around into adulthood. Can we talk about something very important real briefly? I don't want to waste much of your time, and I thank you for stopping by. When you have someone who has gone through things that are hereditary, and you can see the difference in the way they behave, and you see they've come from a certain environment. What about their upbringing? A lot of people carry around those childhood scars. They're still with them in adulthood. Some people have been hurt so badly that the human mind, your mind, may not even be able to fathom. It was done to them when they were a child and didn't have a say-so in it. And it was most likely done to them by adults. And at some point, you may see those things come up in work relationships, in love relationships, or in just passing by in society. Do you have compassion? Do you have enough compassion in your heart to be able to say, I understand? Yes, we are quick to cut people off at the knees, right? That's what we do. Chop you down at the knees and keep moving. It is a ruthless dog-eat-dog world that we live in. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's getting worse. It's getting worse. It's getting to the point where people do not even have an ounce, an iota of patience. I look at the way that some people behave to people who are customer facing in corporations. People are berating customer service people like no one's business. Oh yeah, people going bananas over a missing slice of cheese on their hamburger, over things that are trivial. They're going off on people at airports and rent-a-car agencies. They're going off on people who are just trying to do their business, just trying to sell you a cup of coffee. And because they missed an ingredient, you feel that they have the right to just tear the whole place up. What if that person you are yelling at had been yelled at their entire life, their entire childhood? What if you call that person a trigger word? Yes, you called them a word and it triggered something in them. You weak, you worthless, weak piece of shit. What if you said that to them? And that's the same thing that I heard inside of my environment. Same thing that I heard even in my upbringing. Oh, you know what? It never bothered me. All of a sudden, it's hereditary. Now I realize that that affects me, and it gets stuck down in my craw, and it burns my biscuits. And now you feel like you have a righteous indignation versus this person who is over there just trying to do their job, just trying to make a living, just trying to provide for their family. And now you're yelling, you got in the face of the right one. Yes, you will feel fire and brimstone. Because what goes around, it's going to come right back around. Awareness is the first step. It's the same thing in Alcoholics Anonymous and Narcotics Anonymous. Admitting that you have a problem, acknowledgement of what the issue is the first step towards wellness. Have you taken a look at your environment that you grew up in? Have you really did a deep study on who your parents were? Have you sat down and talked to them? If you didn't have the opportunity, could you find out a little bit more about those who brought you into this world? Also, your upbringing. Yes, because I've met some people who came from good, loving homes, and I'm telling you right now, they're still assholes. Came from a good house, good parenting, you know? I've met so many people inside the prison that got the tattoo across the back of their neck that say, Mama tried. If that isn't a testimony, Mama tried, and here I am still, you know? What if you had something that you can just say, I can turn this around. This is why I act like this. And I'll bring it full circle for you. Do your kids act like you? Do your kids act the same way that you did when you were a kid? And now you're mad at them. Yes, you reaped what you sowed. You put that seed in the ground. And if you plant lemon seeds, don't you expect apples? Yes, you got a lemon. Why? You planted lemon seeds. That's what you planted. They act just like you. And you can't hold them accountable or try to, whoop them, scold them, time out or whatever you do because they're acting like you. Yes. It's part of their hereditary. It's part of their DNA. It's who they are. And you should be better equipped to be able to deal with that. Okay? So once you figure out who it is that you are and the way that you are, now you can adopt that leadership style inside of the business. If you are a driver and you love just to drive the business, yes, that's who you are as a leader. Guess what? For every yin, there's a yang. For every up, there's a down. For every off, there's an on. And for every person who is a driver, there's some person out there that, you know what, you're not very well liked. The opposite side of that spectrum, people pleasers. You're trying to make everyone happy. Don't you know you can't make everyone happy? And if you are a people pleaser and you're putting yourself in that type of situation, then by God, I'm telling you right now, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. You put some expectations on people that they will like you because you want to be liked. Well, expectations are nothing more than premeditated resentments. You've set yourself up to resent that person. It affects your leadership style. Balance. Or as Bruce Lee liked to say, be like water. Water flows. Water bends. You can swim and have a great time on jet skis and fancy yachts in a lake or ocean of water. It is beautiful. It's also dangerous. You can drown with just a teaspoon of water. Yes. And if you are being like water, then guess what? Know your value as water. Know your value. Know that it is about your environment. And if you find yourself in a situation, I don't feel like I'm valued here, They don't understand that I am water. I am the lifeblood, and without me, you cannot live. They don't understand that. They're treating me like I'm a disposable beverage. It may be your environment, but wherever you go, cousins, you take yourself with you. So do the work, put in the time, understand who you are, and keep it moving. And no matter what you do, just keep on tuning in, man. Keep on tuning right here to Word to the Wise, okay? And I'm so glad that you guys can come once again. Yes, I really appreciate each and every last one of you. I want you to know that here at Word to the Wise, we just want to make a kindred spirit, like we're cousins, right? That's why I call this the cousin spirit. Yes, we just keep holding it down. I feel like we go way back like fat crayons and Hot Wheels back, like droopy diapers and similar, like slave ship voyages and auction blocks, way before the days of pushing Cadillacs and pushing blocks. So until then, I want to know if you could do me a quick little favor. I want to know that if you, my listeners, could tell somebody about this program, because I just need to touch one. And maybe the one that I need to touch is somebody that you know that needs to hear exactly what I'm talking about. So could you please
I hope you like the podcast and you really like the podcast.
come on, be serious.
And you really like my podcast. Like and subscribe.
All right, cousins, y'all take care of yourself and take care of each other. And know that when you're out there in the world and in society, always be aware of your surroundings. Everybody don't have your best interest in mind. And there are some out there going through something. Be careful when you get into people's faces. Yes, and if you are working behind the counter somewhere, and you know deep down in your heart of hearts that you really don't like people at all, you may start putting in some applications somewhere. You may be in the wrong job, and that's okay too. All right? Thank you guys once again. Word to the Wise every single Wednesday. Terry Patrick coming at you live right here with the exclamation point. All right? I do y'all like I do my potatoes. I'm going to plant you now, but I'm going to dig you later. Peace, love, peace, and hot catfish grease.